Welcome back into the Tulane Dynasty and Week 3 as we go on the road to play 2-0 Kansas State, led by none other than quarterback Avery Johnson, who on the year has thrown for 514 yards, 4 touchdowns to 0 interceptions. And so far, he has not been able to get it going on the ground, so we'll see if that's something he can change today. As last game, his favorite target was tight end Garrett Oakley, who had 5 catches for 87 yards and a touchdown. They also have a strong running game with running back Joe Jackson, who's averaging 10 yards per carry, a little under 300 yards so far in 2 games and 2 touchdowns. And another receiving threat is wide receiver Jerron Tibbs, who has 11 catches, 155 yards, and no touchdowns to date. So we'll see if either Zeon Chriss or Semonza takes the field here for Tulane and see if they can capitalize on the momentum they gained last week against South Alabama. As the Green Wave take the field, and it is Chriss leading them out. And first play of the game here for the Green Wave. It's a handoff to McClure up the middle, and he gets absolutely stuffed. As we flash forward 2 plays, the 3rd and 2, a read option. Chriss pulls it and takes it for about 10 yards. A beautiful pull there by Zeon Chriss, and that is exactly what he brings to this offense, a dynamic dual threat, as it leads to a 1st and 10 here for Tulane. Play action to McClure, rolling out to the left, throws it, and that wasn't even close. Was aiming for his tight end, and he is lucky that did not get picked off there. And it will lead us to 2nd and 10 from around the 44-yard line for the Green Wave. Brown Stevens in motions, a handoff. McClure cuts to the right, and he has a crease and almost breaks it all the way down the sideline before getting caught, as they're getting him the ball early and often. And that is a recipe for success for this Tulane squad. 1st and 10 here past midfield. Hill goes in motion to the left. The snap. Chriss drops back, scrambles off to the right, throws it deep, and it is caught by Anthony Brown-Stevens. Not a pretty ball, but a 1st down nonetheless. And they are getting their wide receivers the ball, as they have 2 great playmakers in Anthony Brown-Stevens and Hill. That'll lead us to 1st and 10 from around the 19, a red zone here, as it's a give to McClure, cuts it up the middle, a nice juke move, and he is down around the 1-yard line. What a move he put on that safety as he broke through the line, and they are feeding him the ball, and I do it one more time here, see if he can get in. The snap right back to him, and he gets stuffed. 2nd and goal, still good positioning, a good opening drive here by Chriss, moving him down the field, getting them at the 1-yard line. We'll see if they can punch it in here on 2nd and goal. Lewis goes in motion to the right, and Chriss takes it right up the middle and gets nothing. Back-to-back plays now. The Green Wave have ran it straight up the middle, and this Kansas State defense has denied them. They'll bring up a 3rd and goal here for this Tulane squad. And you see Zion had a crease, and it closed quickly here. 3rd and goal from the 1 again. Goal line formation, and it gets blown up as McClure tries jumping over the pile, but no succession there, as 4th and goal, and they're going to go for it in a Wildcat formation. We have not seen this yet out of Tulane, as McClure will send Daniels in motion, a fake to him. No, it's a pitch back to Chriss, and it goes nowhere. Too much time to develop on that, and the Wildcat defense was all over on it. And that will send Avery Johnson out to the field. Still a tie ball game after a great opening drive and momentum. Stuffed 3 straight times. As Wildcats have a 3rd and 13 here early on, backed up in their own side of the field, as Avery Johnson gets the snap, throws it up the middle, and it is Joe Jackson, the running back, who hasn't caught many balls, but that one will go for 27, and an explosive play here early for the Wildcats. 1st and 10 now. It's the handoff to Jackson. He cuts up the middle, and picks up about 12 as he is going here early. A 2nd and 11 now after the first down, lost 1 yard. Avery Johnson rolls out to the right and flips it up the middle. And ball, it is a fumble. And the Green Wave jump on it. And it looks like that was Hughes, if I got my guys correct. And the turnover beads are out in full force early as Tulane recaptures the momentum here. 1st and 10, handoff McClure. And he cuts it back up and gets a first down as he already has 52 yards rushing here halfway through this first quarter. 1st and 10 now for Chris and the Green Wave. Changing the play at the line. Takes a snap, fake to McClure, throws it out to Hill. He's dynamic with the ball in his hands, and they want to feed him early and often as he picks up around 10. And Tulane is moving the chains. Back to the hurry up. A flip out to Hill, but no can do, says the Wildcats, as they get the Chris as he was releasing the ball, and it goes straight into the dirt. Still good field possession, good momentum. See what they can get going here on a 2nd and 10 from the 34-yard line of Kansas State. As Chris drops back, fires a deep ball down the field, and it is broken up at the last second as he was looking for his slot receiver, Lewis Jr. there. Not a bad thrown ball, just a better play by the defender, but that would have been huge early here on the road for Tulane as now they face a 3rd and 10. Chris takes the snap, drops back, running out of time, finds McClure on a little check down, and he picks up around 8. And we'll see what Tulane's head coach, Coach Zoms, wants to do. He already said they're going to go for it, as they did on the first possession at the 1-yard line, and they're going to go again. 4th and 2 here now. As Chris gets the snap, drops back, fires it over the middle, and that is incomplete. Looked like it could have been picked off. And now we got a 3rd and 11 for Kansas State on a little slip screen, broken up. And fast forward now, next possession, 3rd and 10 for the Green Wave. As defense has been in control early for both squads. Chris rolls out, sees no one down the field. He'll take off towards the first down line, and he will make it a 1st and 10, which will lead to a 3rd and 3 here after 2 plays that got around 7. The drop back, the throw over the middle, and that is Lewis Jr. who gets the first down. 51 yards passing so far in this first quarter for Chris as they're hurrying to the line. A fake to McClure, drops back, nowhere to go, and he just runs backwards and loses around 16 yards, as that is not what you want to do as Kansas State's defense swings the momentum back to their side for a 2nd and 26. And it's another pass play and another bad play by Chris as he just kept backpedaling, and it leads to 3rd and 39. And I'm not sure you have many plays, if any, to pick this up, but they will take it to the end of the first quarter, try to regroup, and a defensive-driven quarter here as we see the total yards are not very high. Tulane with 5 minutes compared to 1 minute time of possession. And now to start the second quarter, we have a 3rd and 39. As he sends McClure in motion to the right, takes the snap, drops back, a little pump fake, and he will send it deep to Lewis again, who makes a crazy catch. Not sure if that's what they were intending to do, but it does the job of 1st and 10 now, nearing the red zone after a crazy 3rd and 9 conversion. But it comes up short as they will give the ball back to Kansas State. Flips it out wide, breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle around midfield. And Kansas State flipping the momentum early here in the second quarter as Avery Johnson will hurry to the line. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. A handoff to Jackson, who has so much room on the left side. And a touchdown-saving tackle there by Kevin Adams, the 3rd. And Cheat Chew is down, grabbing his back. You do not like to see that if you are Tulane. A 3rd and 4 here. A little Wildcats shift, and Jackson takes it right up the middle and is stuffed for a 3rd down, leading to a 4th down and 3 now. And Kansas State's rolling the dice here too. Avery Johnson steps back up, fires it to Oakley, who slips into the end zone. I'm not sure how he got away from that tackle, But after the defensive battle, Kansas State, who takes the lead first in this game, as it's 2nd and 18 for the Green Wave on the following possession, as Chris is sending some audibles around and takes a shot over the middle. And again, it's Lewis Jr., who's been his favorite target today, who will scoot up to make it 3rd and manageable now, as Lewis has been the safety blanket for Chris here in the better half of 2 quarters as he fires over the middle. And it's Lewis again, already 80 yards in this first half for him, who hasn't seen many action in the first couple days. Fired out to Anthony Brown-Stevens, who puts a juke move on the DB and will pick up a first down. Tulane's gaining some momentum here at the later stages of the second quarter. Chris with the drop back, running out of time, and just gets rid of it. And he is taking some hits early. Tulane's forced to punt and bring up a 3rd and 7 here now for the Wildcats, as it's a QB keeper in Avery Johnson, who hasn't done much of this yet this year, will keep it for around 8 and pick up the first down, as Tulane was not expecting that one at all, and Avery Johnson made him pay. And next play, handed off to Jackson, who has room, he has speed, the 20, the 10, and it is a tackle by Gene to save a touchdown. But Tulane stiffens up and will force a 4th and goal. See if they can get off the field here and save their offense. Avery Johnson keeps it, dives up, and he is stuffed at the 1-yard line. Tulane's defense does their job and will keep the lead at 7. And we'll see if Tulane can tack on some points or just maintain control of the ball here before halftime, as you got to consider that a win if you're the Tulane coaching staff. Chris on 1st and 10 from his own 1 finds Hill over the middle, and he picks up around 15 there, as they got to give the ball to him and let him work here, as they have been covering him tremendously well so far. Chris takes the snap, will drop back again. Doesn't find anyone open, so he'll tuck it and run, and he has a good run there to get close to midfield. 1:30 left here in the first half. It's a hand up to McClure, cut out to the outside, but it is stopped by the safety. Good run, a good open field tackle there by the Kansas State DB, as Chris will roll out and will just pick up the first down, as they got some momentum. See if they can capitalize before the end of the half. And it's another drop back, running out of time. It's a dump down to McClure, but he is tackled almost immediately for a mere gain of 2, as the clock ticks under 1 minute left in the second quarter. The snap is handed off to McClure again, who breaks a tackle at the line and gets around 14 yards. A tough run there for McClure, as it is a flip out to Daniels, who gets stuffed immediately in the backfield, which will bring up a 3rd and 7 here for the Green Wave. A flip over the middle to Hill, and that will do the trick, as it's another first down, and Tulane is hurrying to the line with about 15 seconds left. 1 timeout. We'll see when they want to use it, as Chris fires it over the middle. Anthony Brown-Stevens makes the catch and gets into the end zone, as Tulane wins the middle 8. At least the first of the 8, the first 4, if you want to say, as they tie it up with 9 seconds left here in the first half. A beautiful drive there by the Green Wave from their own 1-yard line after stuffing Avery Johnson on a 4th and goal. And Anthony Brown-Stevens with a good move on the DB, getting over the middle, and Chris put the ball right on him. So that will bring us to halftime, tied 7-7, as a very defensive game, defensive battle. Both offenses stopped on 4th and goal, and it's been a story of defense. Look around the country, as Georgia down early against Arkansas here and approaching halftime. Georgia number 3 in the country. We'll see if the Razorbacks can hold on to this one at home. Some other games of note: Oklahoma at halftime, Bama down 4, and Texas Tech winning a top 25 ranked matchup against Houston. And again here at halftime, if you're Coach Zoms in the Green Wave, what are the adjustments you want to make? 1, you got to stop the run game. I don't think Kansas State has done enough passing to really scare you. You got the one big Joe Jackson run off the left side for looked about 50 or 60 yards. On top of that, you had that Avery Johnson keeper that they were not expecting. To start the second half here, Kansas State driving early, 3rd and 3, as it's a give to Jackson, and he's stuffed in the backfield. A tackle for loss there by McAllister, as it will force a field goal here from around the 27-yard line. The snap, the hold, and the kick looks like it is good, as Kansas State will add to their total and go up by 3 points. Tulane's first possession of the second half. 2nd and 11 here, as Chris is running out of time. He gets hit and he fumbles, and it is recovered by the Wildcats, who will have great possession here on their second drive of the second half. A 1st and goal from the 4-yard line, and that is a killer here for this Green Wave squad coming out of halftime. 1st and goal now, as Avery Johnson comes right back on the field, and he looks like he was going to hand it off and pulls it and finds his wide receiver on the slant route wide open, as Kansas State is threatening to break this game open, as they have scored 10 points in the first 2 minutes of this second half, as that will lead us to a 3rd and 3 for Tulane, and they need to get something going early here now, as Chris steps back, fires it over the middle, as Hill will catch it and just get enough before going down to keep this offense on the field, because their defense is reeling right now. A 1st and 10 now for Tulane, as Chris sends the tight end in motion. He comes right back, hand off to McClure. No, a fake, as Chris is rolling out, and he has his receiver, his go-to guy today, Lewis, who will catch it and pick up a good chunk, as they're past midfield now here, 1st and 10. Lewis in motion. He'll get the jet sweep, as he'll break it outside and pick up around 4 yards, as it looked like if he could get around the corner, he'd pick up a 1st down pretty easily here. And that will force a 3rd and 6, as Chris steps back, fires it over the middle, and it is knocked away by the linebacker. A little more loft on that pass, and it looks like they would have had a 1st down and then some. As Tulane's kicker will step up for a long field goal here. The snap, the hold, and we'll see if it has enough, and it does. A heck of a kick there to minimize the damage, as it is now a 7-point game, as Kansas State with control here on a 3rd and 6. See if Tulane can get off the field. Avery Johnson steps up, will throw it out wide, and it is knocked down there, as that is a huge stop for Tulane. We'll see if their offense can keep some momentum, as the stadium pulse is rocking here on a 3rd and 10 as we approach the end of the 3rd quarter. He'll send McClure in motion, and looks like no one's going over to cover them. He's wide open. He'll flip it over to McClure, and he will misstep, and the ball flies right by him, as that was a huge chance for Tulane to pick up some extra yards. As here on 1st and 10, Avery Johnson tucks it, and he keeps going down the sideline, as it looks like he was going to run out of bounds, but it will keep it going past midfield. And that will bring up a 3rd and 4 here now with 55 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. And Jackson will pick up the 1st down. 2nd and 9 here as Avery Johnson steps back and will get smoked, as that is exactly what Tulane needed, as it will force a 3rd and long, 3rd and 16 to be exact. And we'll see what the Wildcats can do, as Avery Johnson takes a snap, drops back, and will just dump it down low to his running back to pick up a couple yards and force another field goal, you would have to imagine here, if you're the Wildcats, to start the 4th quarter, as Joe Jackson, 141 yards, that longest rush of 64 coming in that first half, as McClure hasn't had a terrible day at the office either, with a little bit over 70 yards so far to start this 4th quarter, as Kansas State tacks on a field goal to go up 10 as we approach the start of the 4th quarter. Chris over the middle, as Anthony Brown-Stevens will just get enough, about 11, to get the 1st down, as Tulane needs to go. They're running out of time here, as Chris will run the hurry up, gets the snap, and will throw it, but he is hit as he throws, and it will force a 3rd and 9 now for this Green Wave offense. And it might be approaching 4-down territories. He flips it out the hill, but he is just too far to the sideline as he could not stay in bounds after that catch. And a big 4th and 6 here now for Tulane, as you got to think if you don't get this, it might be game, set, match. As Chris takes a snap, will roll out to his right. Doesn't find anyone, but will throw it anyways, and it is knocked down. As that is a killer here. 1st and 10 now following play, as Avery Johnson will split up the middle and will walk in for a touchdown untouched. And that might be the dagger, as it is now 27-10 as the Wildcat offense has exploded here in the second half. As McClure will get this one on 3rd and 10 and get wrapped up immediately. Another 4th down play that you gotta have if you're Tulane. A 4th and 8 now. We'll see what Chris can do, as he'll take the snap, drop back. Nobody really open. He'll throw it over the middle. Hill catches it, but he gets it knocked away with a big hit. And the following play here for Kansas State, a 1st and 10 in plus territory yet again. Avery Johnson with the fake will again cut it up the middle and will go around 30 more yards untouched. Back-to-back plays, back-to-back 30-yard touchdowns, as he will add yet another 30-yard touchdown run. And he had a day, 120 passing yards at 76% completion, but 5 total touchdowns, as he had around 100 yards on the ground. Before we get into these stats, I believe that's what he ended with. And Kansas State will dominate the second half and send this Tulane squad reeling at a mere 1-2, as the end score of 18-41, as the Wildcats had over 400 yards of offense. Avery Johnson with 160 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. Most of that all coming in the second half alone, let alone the fourth quarter, as Tulane's offense sputtered in key spots, as Lewis had it over 100 yards for his first 100-yard game of the season. As we'll see what Coach Zoms wants to do. Is it time to go back to Semonza? Is Chris the guy and Kansas State is just legit? We'll figure it out next week, as it becomes a huge week for the Tulane squad and makes it even bigger, as it's the battle for the bell against rival Southern Miss. We will see you then.